Hey there, from the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm Ruby DeLuna with a roundup of today's top stories. It's Wednesday, November 19th. More than 1,000 unionized Starbucks employees remain on strike today. They say they won't go back to work until Starbucks gives them a fair contract. Emma Cox has worked at a Starbucks location in Seattle for 7 years.
And we're all super fed up, so that's why we're on strike now.
Starbucks says the union walked away from bargaining. In an emailed statement, a company spokesperson wrote, "When the union is ready to come back, we're ready to talk." The union says they didn't walk away, and the company wouldn't come to an agreement on important things to members, like better pay and staffing.
The union knows exactly how to make this company a better place. It's to make your workers happy, it's to make them feel respected, to pay them enough, and then the rest will come.
Pickets are happening at stores in Seattle and across the U.S. Outgoing Seattle City Council President Sarah Nelson is proposing new rules to restrict political consultants' access to City Hall and require them to register with the city. The Seattle Times reports her effort stems from Mayor Bruce Harrell's arrangement with consultant Christian Sinderman. Sinderman worked in the mayor's office while also running the campaign of Nelson's opponent. Nelson says the situation raised ethical red flags and limited her ability to have open conversations with the mayor. Harrell's office and Sinderman say her proposal is rooted in politics rather than substance. Even after Sinderman's contract wrapped up in 2025, city records indicate he was still using his city-issued security badge to enter areas of City Hall that aren't open to the public. A new study says the summit of Mount Rainier has moved the length of a football field to the southwest and about 10 feet down. And it's not plate tectonics, it's climate change. John Ryan reports.
The overheated climate of the 21st century has been eating away at glaciers on the flanks of Mount Rainier. A new study finds that the big melt-off has reached the top of the volcano as well, diminishing the Northwest's tallest mountain just a bit. Mountain climber Eric Gilbertson teaches mechanical engineering at Seattle University.
Up until the late 90s, it very rarely got above freezing on the summit. But now we see in the summer it melts down.
Rainier's official summit is known as Columbia Crest. So much of its ice has melted away that a rocky spot on Rainier's southwest rim has surpassed it as the highest point in Washington. The study appears in the journal Arctic, Antarctic, and Alpine Research. John Ryan, KUOW News.
The King County Council has unanimously approved a 2-year, $20 billion budget. It's the final major piece of business under the current council and interim executive Shannon Braddock. The Seattle Times reports the budget attempts to replace federal funding cuts by the Trump administration or protect against cuts that could still happen. It adds funding for housing, food banks, emergency management, and Medicaid support. Washington Congressman Rick Larsen has introduced a bill that would support the air traffic control system during future government shutdowns. Natalie Akana-Newcomb has more.
During the recent government shutdown, SeaTac and other airports across the country cut down on flights in an effort to reduce the strain on air traffic controllers. The new legislation would ensure that workers at the Federal Aviation Administration would continue to get paid during the shutdowns. It would allow the FAA to use the money from the Aviation Insurance Revolving Fund for paychecks. Larson says he has bipartisan support for the bill. I'm Natalie Akane-Newcomb, KUOW News.
We keep hearing about tech layoffs, but in Everett, just north of Seattle, one company is defying the trend. It's on a hiring spree to build nuclear fusion. Joshua McNichols reports.
Experts say this region is going to need a lot more power in the age of AI. A couple of nuclear fusion companies in Everett want to supply it. One of those companies is Helion. It's hiring dozens of people to build the world's first economically viable fusion reactor. Just down the road, Zosha Toth is an engineer at a rival fusion company, Zap Energy. She says the cutting-edge nature of her work has all her friends talking.
And so I think, honestly, a lot of them are kind of jealous. They're like, man, you get to do something super cool.
Helion expects to deliver fusion energy to its first customers in 2028, but experts say there could be unseen hurdles ahead. Joshua McNichols, KUOW News.
Pierce County's health department is preparing to lay off nearly 24 staff members. KNKX reporter Mitch Borden has more.
The Tacoma Pierce County Health Department is getting ready to cut 22 positions by December 19th. Affected employees were informed last month. Originally, the health department projected it would need to lay off even more staff due to expected federal and state funding cuts. According to a department spokesperson, officials avoided that outcome by holding off on filling vacant positions and pursuing new funding sources. The majority of people being laid off come from the health department's Administrative Services Division. In a written statement, the spokesperson said the public health agency tried to avoid cutting positions that provide services directly to locals. As a result, county residents aren't expected to experience any immediate impacts. I'm Mitch Borden, reporting.
Issaquah-based outdoor retailer REI is getting back into the travel business. The co-op says they're partnering with Melbourne-based Intrepid Travel and offering locally guided domestic and international tours once again. REI phased out international tours in 2021 and completely shut down its experiences division earlier this year after saying it lost millions of dollars annually. But the company tells the Seattle Times they brought the adventure travel experience back after hearing from customers. REI and Intrepid will offer more than 80 packages starting in January. And finally, today, visitors to Fort Worden State Park in Port Townsend will again have a chance to book a room on the historic military campus. Lodging at the park closed abruptly last year when the hospitality group running it ceased operations. But Washington's Parks Department has taken over management, and it's opening the sites over the upcoming holidays as a test run. Lodging will be available during the weeks of Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. Next time on Seattle Now, premiums are going up for many people who buy their insurance on the Affordable Care Act marketplace. We'll talk with an expert who helps people navigate their options.
To look at those changes was really sad because we've made so many strides to lower the uninsured rate, and they realize that the uninsured rate will probably increase because of the changes.
Hear more Thursday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Andy Hurst. I'm Ruby DeLuna. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See you later.